Interface Video, in cooperation with Fairfield Federal, presents Fairfield Today. Brought to you by Fairfield Federal Savings and Loan, Fairfield Medical Center, Fair Hope Hospice and Palliative Care, the Frankie Smith Funeral Home, Fairfield County Adam H., Dagger Law, and the Fairfield County Board of Developmental Disabilities.
Hello friends, welcome to Fairfield Today. Paul Jasson with you. Thank you for joining us on this as we begin taping today. Just a really nice day in downtown, a little overcast, but of course we're post-parade, heading into the holiday time of the year, so that's right around the corner here. So we got things happening in Lancaster and Fairfield County, so we're glad you can join us today here at Fairfield Federal, where I want to remind you this is 130 years they've been doing this. We've been doing it 10 or 15 years, but we're just pikers here because the Fairfield Federal has been around for 130 years doing such great things in the community. We sure thank Mary and the staff here for being so kind to us each and every day. Going to start out here with a group. I don't think if we had them on, it's been so long ago it's hard to remember, but it's been a while if we have. It's called Creative Recovery, and they began back in 2017 to help folks, men and women, get through some problems that they have of about any kind, and help them recover, become self-reliant, get back into the community, and become productive members of that community. We got folks here to talk about that today. We got on my far right, Ray Inman. He's a program manager. Ray, welcome.
Thank you.
Thank you. And Ashanti Evans, and you are a drug counselor?
Yes, sir.
Okay. These are folks, was the introduction here fairly accurate?
Nailed it.
Nailed it. I like that. I like these folks. They're good. Creative Recovery, I bet you do a lot on social media. I see that on, I guess what I mostly see would be what you might call the success stories. You see people, mostly guys, holding up diplomas saying we've made it through the program. So I guess social media is something that's pretty important to your group.
Yeah, and we also want to make sure that the guys feel a sense of accomplishment. I mean, getting through recovery and fighting those addictions, that's something that can be very challenging. So kind of like giving them that praise out there in the spotlight, I feel like that's very big for them.
So this recovery program, this is somebody that they would come to you and say, we want to get in this program.
Yeah, there's a lot of different ways that people come to us. Sometimes it's through a court system.
Okay.
Sometimes
they're told to come.
Right.
Okay.
Sometimes, they're just stuck in a cycle and they want to change but aren't sure how. And we have a lot of partners in the community that help link people to us. So.
Do you generally see the folks that do come to you? Now you say some are told to come by the court, so that might be a little different animal there. But obviously the other folks that come to you and say, I want to get in the program, these are people that want to end this cycle, that want to do the things we talk about, get into society, become self-reliant, be productive. It probably isn't always that way. Maybe if the courts ordered them to come in. I know people that when I was in the Army, they were told it's either jail or the Army, so they joined the Army. They necessarily didn't want to be there, but it was better than the alternative. But for the most part, you see the folks that come to you, they want to succeed.
Yeah, for sure. And even the guys who do come in that are court ordered, they end up walking in the door and then they fall in love with it. A lot of times they come in closed-minded, like you said, because it's the easy way out. It's better than jail or prison. But then, you kind of start seeing them grow, and I think that's the beautiful part about it. But yeah, so we have the people who come in willingly, but also the guys who come in through the courts. Those are kind of like the best success stories. There's no best, but that's seeing them change. That's the beautiful.
They're probably pretty far down the old chain there, and then so
some angry.
When they succeed, man, you've come a long way.
Yeah.
Okay. There probably isn't any certain length that any program has because you deal with a lot of different issues in terms of perhaps mental issues, drug issues, maybe alcohol issues, things that are going on. But how long does it take? When I see these young men holding up their diploma, how long have they been doing this to get that?
Well, our program is a minimum of 6 months to get through the housing program. But sometimes it can take a little longer. It depends on how many hurdles that they have coming through the door. If if a person has a lot of work to do to get their driver's license, or a lot of stuff to do on the counseling side of it, it could take a little longer. We don't really like to put a time stamp on it, but a minimum of 6 months they'll be there.
I assume then that somebody that gets in the program, there's a chance, maybe a small chance, but certainly a chance that they would fall off the wagon, that they might not succeed the first time they come in. I'm sure you anticipate that could happen, and you allow for that. So if that happens, can they kind of get back in the program?
Yeah, so we take a lot of factors into consideration. But like most times, like if we can see that you're genuinely trying to do the right thing, mistakes happen, especially in this line of work. So we're super accepting to that, and we're always welcoming. But then on the other hand, like if you're causing unnecessary problems and stuff like that, that's a little bit different. We have a bunch of guys that we have to protect, we're a big family there, we like to say. So we like to consider everyone's interest when accepting those guys back.
Ray, what kind of, let's say, a percentage of success, people that come into your program, that graduate, that get through it, I would think it would be a very high rate with all the work you put in to these folks. You probably have a lot of success.
I know that we're well above national average.
Okay.
When you first come, there's some guys that don't make it.
Sure.
I would say anyone that makes it past the first 45 to 60 days, though, we're probably at about 50%.
Okay. So once they invest and decide that they're going to work this program rather than just have to be here, probably the odds will go way up.
Way up.
Yeah. I was thinking about the folks coming in there, and we talked about attitude being a big part of it. And again, you do men and women, different programs, different things.
Yes, sir. So we have the women that come in for outpatients, like the counseling side of things. But as far as like the sober living within itself, that is men only. But it's welcome to both men and women. We just can't have that.
Sure.
We can't have them both
Sure.
living in the same
Sure.
house.
I've got Ray Inman and Ashanti Evans with me today. We're talking about creative recovery here. And I was thinking about, and it was your mother that started this?
Yes, sir.
So one of the things that kind of fascinated me, and I conversed with her a little bit through emails prior to you folks being on today, was what was her reasoning to start. This is an odd business, I would say, for a woman to get into, to begin to try to succeed. It's a needed business. I'm glad we have it here, but I thought that's a little odd for somebody to decide that's what they want to go with. What was her reasoning that she thought this was the way to go?
So CREATE is very strongly based on giving back. We want to give back to those in recovery, and most of our staff, other than two, are all all struggled with addiction.
Sure.
and currently in recovery. The other two, they had a life full of, myself included. We had a life where addiction was very present. As far as her starting point, is just mostly to give back to those who.
Did she have
may
any of
need
these
it.
problems?
Yeah. So she was an alcoholic, and then she got clean in 2015, I want to say. And then shortly after, she started working for the facility that she was in. And I think that she just kind of fell in love with it, Like I said, it's very rewarding. What we do is very rewarding. I think ultimately it's just to give back to those who need it.
I see in lots of programs that around the city and the county here, you see a lot of people that are in the program, like yourselves, that actually were in the program and turned it around, and now y'all want to help other folks see the same success that you're having.
Yes, sir. Yeah, there's nothing like being able to give back, to help people in need the way that people helped you. There's something beautiful about that.
So, and I was reading on you have a great website. I forget creativerecovery.org. I don't know what it is.
I believe it's Creed House now.
Creed House, okay. Well, look at Creed of Recovery. You could find it on there. It's easy to find. But I was looking at a lot of good information on there. But the things you offer are just absolutely phenomenal. I think you mentioned driver's licenses. It's really starting from nothing and building these folks up to where if they can make it and make it through there, that there's a path for them to succeed.
We have 4 standalone programs. We have the recovery housing for people with housing needs. We have a community integration program that's going to help with any barriers re-entering into the community, driver's license, stuff with court systems. We have a case management program that's all about any medical needs that a client might have. And then we have our counseling program, and that deals with mental health and addiction services.
Now, if somebody that's hearing this, maybe for the first time, or maybe they just know of somebody that may need your services, what's the best way to contact you all?
Ray, do you want to answer that?
Yeah, so you can get online on our website. There's a way you can send emails through there.
Okay. Contact us. It's on there.
Our telephone numbers are also on there.
Okay.
So 614-404-6008. Call that number and we'll get you set up.
So someone has to come in, you chat with them, you have a one-to-one, and then, or maybe more than one-on-one, but they come in, you see what their problems are, then you discuss it, and then somebody gets accepted into the program. Would that be kind of how it works?
Yeah. Normally we don't require someone to come in. We can do. The reason why I directed it towards Ray is because. He's the one that takes a lot of the phone calls in order to have you. Yeah, exactly.
I got you.
But a phone call will do, and if
so, it can be conducted like that.
Yeah, and then the 2 things that we do not allow is we cannot do sex offenders. You have to be a woman, obviously, and then no controlled substances. So like we don't allow like the Suboxone and stuff like that. But other than that, like we're pretty open. If you want help, then we're here to help you.
And you drug test probably people along the way just to make sure.
Yes, sir.
It's not enough to just say I'm good, but you need a little backup here.
Absolutely.
Yeah. You guys just do a great program. I can see now that in 15 minutes we don't have nearly enough time to discuss. So I'd like to invite you back. I'll get a hold of your mom, or I'll get a hold of you guys, and we'll have you back because I just think you do a great job there. Creative Recovery, look it up. Look at their website. They got so much information on there. Congratulations to you and all the folks that come through your program. It's just doing great work here in the community. Thanks for what you do.
Thank
and
you.
we'll have you back. You willing to come back and fight through this again?
We'll do
Yes,
it.
sir.
Probably for what you do. I hope this is a little easier right here. Ray Inman and Ashanti Evans with Creative Recovery. Thanks for being with us today.
Thank you.
We'll be back in just a moment.
At Fairfield Federal, we believe true prosperity is shared. For 130 years, Fairfield Federal has invested in the community that built us. From supporting businesses that employ our neighbors, empowering the initiatives that strengthen our community, and serving generations of families, Fairfield Federal is proud to share this milestone of progress with our hometown. Fairfield Federal is your place for checking, savings, and home loans. Member FDIC, Equal Housing Lender, NMLS number 402612.
There was a nurse there to receive him, and she looked at me and she said, "I've got your husband. I want you to go sit down and get something to drink. You probably haven't had anything to eat or drink all day. I've got him. Go take a minute." And she took him, and I knew he was in the best hands.
At Fairfield DD, our mission is to create a vibrant community where people can lead lives of greater independence and make meaningful contributions. Technology can help each of us accomplish things we didn't think were possible. That's why we created the Enabling Technology Lending Library, a free resource where you can try smart devices that promote independence and connection. Explore it all from home with our virtual tour. See what's possible and then borrow what you need. Visit fairfielddd.com/lending library and start your journey today.
It is so important for families to feel comfortable and safe when they call, because oftentimes that first phone call, even picking up the phone physically and just dialing that number, is very hard. You're asking for something that is a very difficult and private decision, and so we want everyone to feel comfortable and safe that you pick up that phone, you make that phone call, and let us just guide you and lead you where you want. And then you can make an informed decision about what's best for you and your family.
The Frankie Smith Funeral Home and Crematory in Lancaster and the Johnson Smith Funeral Home in Baltimore have a long and wonderful history of serving our community. Feel free to give us a call at 740-653-0652. Stop in and see us at either of our two locations, 405 North Columbus Street in Lancaster and 207 South Main Street in Baltimore. Respect for tradition, regard for change.
Welcome back to Fairfield Today. Sure want to thank all the folks from Creed Recovery that were on with us to talk about that very worthwhile program. Hope you'll look that up and find out what they're doing. And now, as we mentioned, it's this time of the year, time of the season, programs coming everywhere at us, sometimes 2 or 3 on a Saturday or Sunday. It's sometimes you have to almost pick and choose. Maybe your family has to divide and conquer. One has to go one place, one another, because this time of the year, every Saturday and Sunday is full of events going on. We're going to talk about one of them today, just coming up in a couple of weeks, when we get to talk about each and every year. It's the Lancaster Handbell Ensemble coming up on December 7th. We have the artistic director of the Lancaster Handbell Ensemble, the Bill Wittman. Bill, welcome, buddy.
Thank you, Paul. Appreciate it very much.
It's that time of the year again. You practice pretty much for a couple times. You had one recently in Baltimore, kind of a fresh preview of that.
Yeah.
And now the big dog is coming up here on December 7th, the First Presbyterian Church. You've worked a long time for this, and looking at the things you've got going on here, we'll talk about all that. Sounds like a heck of a program.
It should be great. We're excited about it. It's a unique program. Of course, I try to pick out unique pieces every year, but this program is going to involve some extra percussionists in regard to some of the pieces we're playing, and it should just be a great opportunity. We have 10 pieces on the program. 6 of those have percussion, and then we're also going to add in string bass and keyboards too on a few of the pieces. So it'll be a little bit more than just a handbell concert. So for those folks out there that have not experienced the Lancaster Handbell Ensemble, it's a different deal. It's a different opportunity to hear music, not just from handbells, but from other instruments as well.
I know the first time, and it's probably been a decade ago now, I went to a handbell concert at First Pres. I hadn't, other than maybe seen one in church or something, I hadn't seen anything. I was blown away. I liken it, if you think of percussion instruments and compare that to what, let's say, the Lancaster percussion does, how over the top they are and how wonderful they are. That's how I kind of think of this. I mean, if you think it's just handbells, you got another thing coming when you see what Mr. Wittman and the Lancaster Handbell Ensemble puts on here. It is way more than that. It is truly amazing, the sound that you folks put out.
Well, I appreciate that very much, and we've been fortunate. We've received some grants from the Fairfield County Foundation to help us increase our instruments and number of unique sounds we can produce. And we were able to receive another grant this past year to help us look a little bit more professional with new table covers and padding. We have this foam padding that we have to play our bells on.
Sit down.
And so the padding we've had is over 15 years old, so it's starting to compress and
not as padded.
Not as padded. Exactly. So we were able to replace that and do some unique things with music and hiring of some musicians. So it'll be fun. It'll be a lot of fun.
Now, like I say, I've been just on the outside looking in on handbells for about 10 years, but I would say that now it's probably a lot easier to find music for handbells perhaps than it was maybe a decade ago when I think maybe they weren't as popular. But now, I just look around our community, how many churches have handbell choirs. They all have them. You have the Lancaster Handbell Ensemble, but I would say as you look around to try to plan for a Christmas concert, you have a lot of choices to choose from.
We do, and what I like to do is mix it up. So what I mean by that, we're going to play secular music as well as sacred music. So there'll be some pieces that everybody will recognize, and then there'll be some other pieces that are definitely holiday type pieces, but they may not be sacred in nature.
Sure. How many folks are in your group?
So we've got 15.
Do they go up and down depending on songs?
Yes, exactly. So we have 15 regular ringers.
Okay.
But we have 2 folks that are alternates, and they slide in there wherever we need an extra part here, an extra part there. Or, there are so many bells to play that some of our ringers can't get to all of them. So, we understand that there are these master groups out there, maybe a little bit better than us, but that can play these things. But if we have the personnel to do it, we'll utilize those folks in there to help us out.
I think of music. My music is pretty much a vocal and choral kind of background for me, where it's pretty much 4-part harmony, and that's it. You guys got little teeny bells, and you got giant bells that Ryan and some of the manhandle back there. So I don't know how many octaves you go through on that, but you have a wide span.
So we have a 7-octave range of tones. So a 5-octave set would be from like what we would call C3 to C8. We've got C2 all the way through up. So we've got a lot of low tones that I like, because low tones are the fundamental of the whole hierarchy of overtones.
That's what I say about choirs. The basses are the backbone.
They're the foundation.
I like to hear that. I like to hear that from Mr. Wittman. Let's and all this information is available if you go to the website. Lancaster Handbell Ensemble.org is the website. All the information's on there. They give you the particulars. It's Sunday, couple of weeks away, Sunday, December 7th, 3 p.m., just down the street here at First Presbyterian Church. Bill Wittman, of course, is the artistic director. Tinsel, tidings, and a twist of magic. Enticing title.
It is. Trying to put some play on words there, but we have a lot of unique things happening. So one of the pieces, not to give it all away, is a piece that has a lot of what I call shimmer to it. So there'll be a lot of cascading effects with bells coming down, and that's kind of the tinsel type piece of it. Another piece might be magic because of the uniqueness of it, or there may be a guest artist come in there or something like that. But it's going to be exciting. I'm really looking forward to this piece, or to this program, and we'll have 10 or 11 pieces to play, and it'll be about an hour long.
Let's give a little plug here too. You talked about some percussion. Sounds like the Burn Union kids at Burn Union High School down in Sugar Grove, they've become a big asset to your group.
Right, and that's due to Linda Burns, one of our ringers. Her grandson is a percussionist with the band at Burn Union. And,
a lot of access there.
And so we've got some access there, and so I invited Zeke to come in and work with us, and he's been doing that for the last couple of years. Well, now I gave him a little more responsibility and said, hey, Zeke, I need 5 percussionists.
He came through.
He came through. So we have yet to rehearse, but we will. And then when we pull it all together, we'll have those folks. We have a string bass player from Newark coming down, Matt Combs, who's played in a lot of events down through here at the Playhouse and at OUL. And we have Karen Ginter, who is the pianist for First Presbyterian. She's going to be playing keyboards for us. And then also Gert Young. Gert is a regular in the area. She's been around for quite a while.
Everybody knows and enjoys her work.
And her work is just phenomenal. I've known Gert since college days, and she and I are good friends, along with her husband Paul, one of my best friends. So
does a lot of arranging for your group.
Yes, not so much this time around, but he did orchestrate some bass parts for us.
Sure.
So, and it adds a little bit more depth and body to the sound itself, because string bass instrument sounds an octave lower than written. So our lowest note, if they can play it, will be a sound an octave lower than that. So think about that extra body underneath. So we'll see how it all works out.
So again, to look that up, it's LancasterHandbellEnsemble.org. That's it. All the information's on there. Tickets are $10 at the door.
Yes, $10 at the door.
Got a wonderful place there. The church is a wonderful venue for that. I know you practice there, and you play generally. Well, you have 2 concerts a year: a spring and a
winter concert.
Winter concert. Okay. Yeah. And I know that even though you're working hard on Christmas, in the back of your head, you got things going for spring.
We do.
I knew you would. I knew you would.
And so I try to choose the programs a year ahead of time, so that we know what we're working, what we're looking for. So the spring concert is going to deal with folk songs. And not to give it all away, but one of our members of the group was able to get a commission for a piece that we'll talk more about later, but it'll be prominently played on that particular concert, and it'll just be very unique. And we'll be doing folk songs not just from America, but Europe, Asia, all over the world, so to speak, a little bit. So it'll be a fun time.
I know guys like you and Clarence McCoy with the community chorus, you just aren't happy with now. You're always looking ahead. What's out there ahead? I know Clarence is the same thing as you.
He
great. Plans concerts ahead. You do it too. It's tinsel, tidings, and a twist of magic. Sounds great. Lancaster Handbell Ensemble, Sunday, December 7th, 3 o'clock, right down here at First Presbyterian Church. Give a nice plug here for Fairfield Federal. I know they've been one of your good backers over the years.
They have, and the concert, our performance sponsor is Fairfield Federal.
Nice.
And they have stepped up a little bit in helping us, and so with the foundation and Fairfield Federal's strong support, we're very pleased to be able to do these unique things so we're able to bring in guest artists like Gert and some other people to help us out. It makes it all very unique, very fun. People who come and attend are going to have a great time. They're going to leave with a smile on their face.
Get you in the mood for the season. December 7th, Artistic Director Bill Wittman with the Lancaster Handbell Ensemble. December 7th, sounds like there's going to be a knockout of the park opportunity to hear it.
It'll be fantastic, and I just welcome everybody to come in. I know there are choices to make out there, but if you have never heard the Handbell Ensemble in concert, this is your opportunity.
In for a treat. Get on there. LancasterHandbellEnsemble.org is the website. Good luck on your concert. I know you'll knock it out. You and the Ringers, good luck.
Thank you very much. It'll be fantastic.
We hope so. Thanks for joining us on Fairfield Today.
Interface Video, in cooperation with Fairfield Federal, presents Fairfield Today. Brought to you by Fairfield Federal Savings and Loan, Fairfield Medical Center, Fair Hope Hospice and Palliative Care, the Frankie Smith Funeral Home, Fairfield County Adam H., Dagger Law, and the Fairfield County Board of Developmental Disabilities.